Aren't wicks so stressful? I would say that picking out a wick for your candle, it's probably one of the most stressful part of a candle making business. Do you guys know what this is? What is this called? Some of you may call this a candle wick, right? I call this the headache of a lot of candle makers, a lot of new candle makers. And it becomes a very stressful process when picking out a wick, right? It doesn't have to be that way. I can honestly tell you, I went through a little bit of a process, but not to the extent where I see a lot of people go through. So I wanted to make this video. It's been highly requested. I wanted to make this video to kind of make things, give my opinion. Remember, everything, I don't know everything. It's just pretty much share with you my journey, my experience when it comes to wigs, and you know, the little bit of research that I've done, and maybe that can help you and smooth out this whole headache that a lot of you have. I'm Sandy, and I am the founder of Love You Candle Co. And this is a very different intro than all others, but like I've said before, trying to spice things up. So let's get started. So if you look here, I am in my living room. I have one of my candles lit. This is actually my last one from my winter collection. I actually kept one for myself because I loved it so much. I still have my Christmas tree up. Am I the only one? I think I am the only one that in April still has her Christmas tree up, which I am going to be taking it out, hopefully not this week, but probably next weekend. Anyways, so today's video, I want to talk to you guys about my experience with wicks, with testing wicks. For your candle business, one of the main reasons why I started this channel is because I am like you. When I first started, oh, I'm getting a phone call. Give me 1 second, guys. Hello? Yes, and I am in the middle of filming a YouTube, so can I call you back? Yes. Can I call you back? After? Okay, bye. That's my godmother. She's actually calling me for candles. So you gotta pick up. Anyways, so I can totally relate to you guys. I know how stressful it is when you're trying to get that perfect candle to sell to your customers, right? So picking out a wick, a lot of people have a problem with knowing what wick. They don't know where they should start. Yes, there are guides out there, but some of the guides, even I have looked at them, and they give you so many ranges and options that it might be tricky, right? If you don't understand them. So basically what I want to do today is kind of like help you kind of like determine and narrow down the list of what wicks you should be testing, and help you understand the wicks, the sizes, and what goes into it. That way you're not spending so much money buying wicks. And don't get me wrong, wicks are not that expensive. They're really not. They're per candle, they're a couple cents. However, if you're going through this process and just buying all these different wicks, you are spending money. No matter if it's a couple cents, it's still money that you're spending on your business that you can be allocating those funds to something else. So therefore, today I pretty much want to kind of like help you guys navigate this journey and see if you can finally get your answers to the problem you've been having. So the first thing you want to do is determine what type of wax are you going to be using. Do you know what wax you're going to be using? Well, I myself, if you watch my videos, I use Soy 10. Soy 10 has been my wax from day one. I tested a Parasoy blend, and I tested 464, and I tested Soy 10. Those were the two waxes that I decided to test with when I knew that soy was the direction that I wanted to head in. And what did I find out? That I love soy 10. It's what I'm burning here right now. It's what I make, soy 10. Why do I love soy 10? It's a very, very easy wax to work with. It's a very easy wax to wick. It's such a beautiful wax, and the hot throw, the cold throw, everything about this wax to me is absolutely amazing. Yes, there are some people that have used it that have opinions where maybe it's too soft. The type of jars that I use to how I wick my jars, I don't have that issue. I've asked my customers, I've asked the people, you know, the vendors, the clients that I have that I wholesale to, and they just absolutely love how my candles burn. So with my jar, for example, I started off, you guys recall, I started off with this jar from Candle Science. This lid is also from Candle Science. So I've seen a lot of the times where I see candle makers making this size of a candle with one wick. And hey, that's okay. If that works for you, for your wax, that's totally fine. However, for me, for my own personal journey, my own experience of using soy 10, of using this type of jar, to me, eco wicks were the ones that work the best. So what are you going to do first? First, you're going to determine, what wax am I going to use? Okay, once you know what wax you want to use, the next thing that you need to come to determine is, what containers do you want to use? What candle vessels, candle jars, what containers, whatever you want to call it, because there's a couple names out there. What vessel do you want to use? This right here that I'm burning, this is an Aura vessel, and this vessel is from Wooden Wick. This vessel, as I mentioned earlier, is the straight-sided jars clear from Candle Science. And I get the lids that are sold separate, Candle Science. These vessels from Wooden Wick come with a separate lid also, which is this lid right here. It's a gold lid. It's beautiful. But there are always sold out, so you have to buy in bulk if you really want to use them. I love them. They're gorgeous. Then I have these vessels here. If you saw my earlier video that I made last year about talking about vessels, I talked about these vessels. These vessels I bought them off of Alibaba, and I really like these vessels. See? I really love these vessels. So I have these vessels also. And then I have this vessel right here. This is from Candle Science, and it's a 3-wick candle jar. It's 3 wicks. So once you determine what candle wax you're gonna use, what jar you're gonna use, then you're gonna narrow down your options of what wick you're going to use. So what you want to do is you want to measure the diameter of your jar. Why? Because that's how you are going to know what size of a wick you're going to use. You're also going to determine if you have to double wick your jar, right? So once you measure it, and let me get a tape measure so I can show you exactly how. So you want to get a measuring tape and measure how wide is your vessel. And what you're gonna do is that you're going to get a tape measure. You're gonna put it on the edge of the glass where it says 0. And then you're gonna see where it ends. And right here, this jar is 3 inches wide. So 3 inches wide. In your candle guide, whenever you print out a candle guide, it's gonna tell you, depending on the width of your candle jar, what is the size recommended for that jar. In Candle Science, I believe that they recommend you an eco to use, if you're gonna use ecos, to use an eco 8. which I did test an Eco 8. However, with my wax, I did not get a full melt pool after 4 hours. What is a melt pool? Is when your candle melts entirely and it does not tunnel. What is tunnel? Is when you either blow out your candle too early. That's why we recommend that you burn the candle for 4 hours minimum on your first burn. That way you get to burn the whole entire top layer of the candle and it starts burning down evenly, right? So what you want to do is that you want to make sure that you have the right size, because if you don't have the right size, your candle is going to tunnel. And let me show you what a candle looks like when it tunnels. Since I'm all the way over here, I have to kind of like walk here and show you. Do you see how that candle looks? All that wax on the side. This candle tunneled. This is actually an Eco 8, and this is how I burned singled. See all that wax there? This candle tunneled. That's what tunneling is. So I decided that I was going to wick, double wick my containers. All my candles are double wicked. So what I had to do is that I had to get Eco 2s, which are smaller wicks. They're smaller in size. That way they don't overburn the candle. When you double wick, you have to wick down. When you're gonna do a single wick, you wick up. If you're gonna use, for example, if you're gonna use cotton wicks, and today we're not gonna get into talking about wooden wicks. That's a whole separate subject, guys, because to me, I think that wooden wicks are actually more challenging than cotton wicks. I'm still testing wooden wicks. I think I found my right combination, but I still want to do a little bit more testing just to be sure. So there is a couple wicks out there that that we have. So we have Eco Wicks, CD Wicks, we have LX Series, HTB Wicks. The only ones that I have personally used are Eco and CD. So if you saw my video, my last video where I was testing Parasoy, a Parasoy blend from Flaming Candle. So after my testing, after conducting my whole entire testing, I would say that I really like how the CD wicks performed better with that Parasoy blend versus the Eco. The Eco's got like this in the middle of the candle, this orange kind of like color. It just turned really weird. I didn't like how it was burning. It was sooting a lot. It was sooting a lot, and I had different size wicks. So it's not, I knew it wasn't the size. It's just that type of wax with that type of wick, it was just not at all compatible. It was turning the wax yellow and orange when the CD wick actually burned very, very nice. It was a very slow burn. It was a nice burn, and it kept the wax white. The hot throw was amazing. So I knew that Parasoy blend was definitely I would use a CD wick. My nose itches. So with that being said, I would say do your own testing. You always have to do your own testing. I want you guys to understand something. I make these videos to give you my experience and what, my opinion, but it doesn't mean skip the testing and just go right to whatever I say. Why? I don't know what wax you're using. I don't know what your process, I don't know what you're doing exactly. So I'm just here to facilitate certain points, but also don't skip the testing process. It's so important, especially because this is how you're going to get that candle, that perfect candle that you want to sell. So I just want you guys to be sure that you're not skipping your testing phase. So these wicks right here are my Eco 2s, and these are from California Candle Supply. I've tested a couple wicks from different suppliers, and at the top of my list, I love the wicks from California Candle Supply. I really, really love them. I love how they perform. I even love the metal part. This, I forgot what this is called. I'm having like a brain moment right now. I love how small and normal size these are. Why do I say that? Because when you have a wick placer, and let me show you what a wick placer is. This little metal part right here is a normal size. Normal size, what I mean is that it will match the size of my wick center. I love this metal part because the other ones that I got from other suppliers, they were so big and wide that it made it difficult for me to place the wick in the candle. So these wick centers, guys, these are amazing. I love them. I cannot function without them. This is, to me, this is equivalent to the camera in my car, the rear view camera in my car. I cannot reverse anymore without that camera. I have become dependent of that. I've tried to. These little wick placers to me are equivalent to that. Where did I get them from? I am going to put the link in the description where I got them from. They're from this vendor. They do amazing, amazing work. I love them. I'm obsessed with them. And this is pretty much the wick topper. It goes on top of your jar. I've explained this in previous videos, and this is what pretty much holds your wick. I love these. So, and they're custom made. You can have them custom made because that's how they make them to whatever jar you're using. I love them because of this, like I said, the size. It's just freaking amazing. But yeah, I get these. They come in these bags of 100, but definitely if you buy in bulk is even better. And I don't remember how much they cost, but they're not that expensive. Anytime I order my wax, I usually buy a bunch of wicks to go. It doesn't really change or alter the shipping rate, so I take advantage of that. Might as well. But I would say right now my wicks are ecos, and it's because of the type of wax that I use. I am going to experiment with another wax because I do want to introduce eventually wooden wicks to my line, but that's going to be further down because I'm still, you know, testing. I've tested a lot of different wooden wicks, and I just did not like how they were burning. I can say that wooden wicks, I don't like how they perform with my particular wax. That's why I think I have to move into a different type of wax. What did we gather from today? What did we gather? What are we gonna do first? First, we have to determine what wax we're gonna use, right? Okay, after we pick our wax, what jar are we gonna use? What jar are we gonna use? Then after our jar, what are we gonna do? We are going to measure the diameter of our jar. After you measure your jar, that's when you can go ahead and start picking what type of wick and what size wick. And then if you're going to double wick or you are going to single wick, that's gonna be totally up to you, how, depending on how you see your process going, how your candle performs. That's gonna be part of your testing phase. But I made this video because I really wanted you guys to understand how is it that you're going to know and how is it that you're going to pick your wick. So if you're using 464, you have to go and look at the guide and see, okay, based on 464, based on my wax, which is 464, and if I want to use this size jar from Candle Science, what is the recommended type of wick for 464? When I was testing 464, I was using CD candles, but I know that there's other candle makers that have used different and they've had different results. Also, what is the size? So depending on all of that, guys, is what you're going to do. So I hope my video was of great help, and I hope that you guys don't spend so much money on on testing your wicks. But if you do, hey, you know what? You expense it. So I hope my video helped you guys. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. Also, I want to let you guys know that on my website, if you want to know what soy 10 burns like, what it's like, I always suggest doing this. I did this when I first started making candles. I bought from candle makers that already had their candles up and going. And I bought not just because I wanted to support, but also I'm like, let me see if I like how this candle burns. Let me see if this is the type of wax that I like, how it looks, how it burns, how it smells, the hot throw, the cold throw, etc. So on my website, Right now, all the candles that were from winter and fall, I have them on sale. They are on sale, so go check it out. And also, guys, I am no longer charging shipping. Nope. My whole entire shop is free shipping. This is something that you must know your numbers, and that's going to be a separate video. But in order for you to make a move like this in your business, and I know a lot of you may be freaking out, like, wait, what? How are you offering free shipping? Exactly. You need to know your numbers to make moves like this in your business. And hey, you know, with every business that you have, any business, you have to know your numbers. So you'll get free shipping. The fall and winter collection is discounted. So if you want to try Soy 10 and you want to know what it's like, go ahead and have a ball on my website. The other part is these vessels that I have here, I'm actually not going to continue using them. I'm focusing a lot on wholesale right now, and a lot of the jars that I'm getting requested for are the Aura vessels and the vessels from Candle Science and these 3 wick, which I'm actually testing. I'm going to test with an Eco 2 and Eco 4 because it's 3 wicks. So these vessels right here, if you are interested, because I am going to be detaching. If you don't know what detaching means, is I'm going to be selling them, getting rid of them. So if you want them, first come, first serve, send me an email. I'm going to put the email down in the description, and we can go ahead and message each other. I can get you a quote on shipping, and you can go ahead and try these. So I have these in gold and white. If you don't know, if you want to know exactly what they look like, you can go back to my previous videos, my previous video on where I talk about the vessels, and you can get a up close look to them. So guys, thank you so much, and I can't wait for you guys to start testing your wicks, and let me know your feedback in the comments. You have any questions, drop it out in the comments. I answer within 24 48 hours. Well, that's it for today, and oh my god, this candle smells so amazing. I hope you guys have an amazing week, and that your testing goes great. And if you're already selling candles, I hope you sell a lot of them. All right, guys, till next time, bye.